Alrighty, so back at it from that little break for Christmas, and let's see. So basically, what happened last time? The group got to Grand Pike, met with the Weaver, and basically chalked him up to be crazy, recluse old man who was once is still a tapestry maker, but is basically crazy, and garnered fame from, predicting the future, air quotes around that. They then waited for Azu, the resident person who knew everything that was going around Grand Pike, told them about a couple of people, Nokeem and Ravel, who went out searching for an owlbear. Then they figured out some other stuff about the bugbear camp. They got Azu drunk and basically prophesizing some stuff. Naf got visions and dreams back in Silverwell before they met up with everybody at Grand Pike, and Sarquin talked to a dragon and an avatar
and a god
nonchalantly. Luckily,
then we saved a vampire.
The group went off to the bugbear encampment and faced the bugbear slaveholder, as well as a minotaur and some other bugbears, which could have turned very bad if Sarquin didn't roll amazingly high on his diplomacy to persuade the minotaur to fight for them instead. So
I also paid him off. So.
Yeah, you paid him off as well. That's basically what you did to not have him slash you up. So you defeated the bugbears, rescued the woman that was there. The
damsel.
The damsel in distress. The woman who had
Onavok called dibs on
immediately because she said, "Wait, don't kill the main bugbear. Let me do it." She ran over to Onavok, grabbed his scythe, and proceeded to stab the bugbear repeatedly over and over and over again with a scythe. And Onavok was just like, "Oh my gosh, yes,
I'm in love."
Yeah, basically. And she had various scarring on the back of her neck and was in very tattered robes when you first met her. She then changed out of that, got her adventuring gear, if you would, and you saw this girl, and she said she had long blonde hair and silver eyes, from what you gathered, and Sarquin could probably point out that there might have been a sharp tooth in her mouth, but he didn't get a very good look at it, but he thought he saw a sharp tooth in there somewhere. So now you're heading back to Grand Pike with the woman, Eliza.
The Minotaur, the bugbear, and
a bugbear. Because the girl said not to kill one bugbear because he has been the nicest, and the Minotaur, which you've dragged along after paying.
We're telling him we're going to try to give him a
job somewhere.
Job at Castle Grey Rock.
So yeah, that's where you left off. So
we're traveling back.
You're traveling back. If you wanted to look at the encampment one last time, go through the encampment again, I'll allow that, just like for a quick, what was there, if you didn't already, to do everything you wanted at the camp, and then you can go on your way after that. So
is the camp pretty much cleared out, or do like the other ones left, or like the other?
Oh, gotcha. So
bugbears and shit left, or
yeah. So there was one bugbear that everyone interrogated and was let loose to go back to the so-called champion of the wilds, or whatever they said that he was, Namrog the Chosen, and basically say that, hey, we're here, basically threatening stuff.
Don't hurt the human encampments, or human towns.
Something like that.
And apparently he's a champ. From the information we gathered, he sounds like a champion of Gurmosh.
From what you've gathered, yeah. And the way that other people have been saying his name and the title that's been given to him, the Chosen, you have a pretty good idea that that might be what it is. That interrogated bugbear also gave you possible other encampments that may or may not be still there. The red X's.
Are those the X's?
Yes,
Okay.
the red X's. Those may or may not still be there. They could be encampments. You don't know. You haven't checked yet.
Which way did he head off?
He headed towards the west and slightly to the south. He's going into the wilds. That's the way he headed off.
Kind of towards the southern more red X, or more west than that?
The more southern one. But little more west. So he's like going in diagonal from the... Yeah.
Okay.
So did we check the tents?
No, that's why I said if you wanted to do that right now, no one checked anything, so...
Yeah, we should sweep for any valuable stuff and or information. I'm assuming they don't keep much in the way of paperwork, but anything that might be like maps or like, instructions or...
Sure.
Probably in Goblin, but yeah, let's do this.
Well, whatever. Any sort of writing.
I can read Goblin. I'm just saying that it's probably in Goblin. So if you find something in Goblin, you might want to give it to me.
Okay. I believe it's search. Make a search check, both of you, to basically, go through everything in the encampment, see what you find, things like that.
Come on, we're gonna roll big. We're gonna roll good. I'm gonna get like a 20 on my search check, and we're gonna find everything.
It's like you find out that this...
I might see it if it's far away. I'm farsighted.
Okay, so it's farsighted?
Or not. No, that's for Naf. That's one of his traits.
Abilities?
So it's like a thing like he has... Yeah, it's
oh, yay! I have 2 in search. I might do well. Probably not.
-2.
Okay.
15,
so between the two of you, you're sort of looking around. Now, if you sort of get sidetracked by the bodies on there, you're sort of looking through there, picking through their stuff on their person. You don't really find too much in way of usable equipment or things like that. Mm-hmm. It's more of very crude weaponry and armor, things that wouldn't be of much value that you're finding. It's sort of like you're finding a couple things that might be useful to sell. You're a bit unsure though.
Anything that might be at all useful, I'll
so
chuck over. And while I'm doing this, as I finish with each body, I'll say the appropriate death prayer for each creature, because even though they're bad, I'll still send up a prayer to AMA that their souls are taken care of.
Okay. Sounds good. So you're gathering all the stuff that you would think that might be of worth, might be of value later on. Altogether, you come to about maybe 13 gold pieces if you sold everything that you could possibly carry of this.
Okay.
So don't worry about selling and stuff. Just you can add the 13 on
just
there.
Add 13.
Yeah. Because it's mainly just scrap metal, like a whole bunch of scrap metal stuff that you can be like, okay, yeah, you can sell this, stuff like that.
All right. I'll give half of that to Sarquin.
Okay.
Okay, cool. And
Sarquin looks at you, then looks down at it, then looks at you, and
look, this is all we got.
Thank you. I say thank you.
Okay, Sarquin, after taking that money, you're looking more through the tents and the things around there. You're not really finding too much in the tents per se. You see that one tent is different shade than the other ones, and you see that there's still the building there, the prison, the makeshift prison, if you will.
Yeah.
And you're...
Well, I was expecting that I would go through that too.
Yeah. So after seeing those two buildings, you're like, there might be something in there. So you're going through the tent at first, and you're not really finding too much. It's pretty cleaned out, just bedding, food, things like that in the tents. In the prison itself, you're noticing that there's a whole bunch of blood everywhere, and you're just guessing that it's from the woman that you just saved. And in there, you're finding a whole bunch of different equipment and basically torture tools that could very well be sold at a fairly reasonable price. I want you to actually no, you don't have to do that. In one of the corners, you notice that there's this trunk, and it seems like it has a lock on it.
Okay. I'm gonna take my shield in two hands and smash the lock.
Okay, do a strength check.
Forget picking things.
Yeah. It's
okay.
With the leverage that you have so far, it's you give it your best shot, and just you hit the lock. It seems like it didn't take the brunt of the force, and it just sort of bent the lock a little bit. Not too much. It didn't really do too much in way of breaking the lock off.
Seeing as how I know I didn't have good leverage and it did still dent the lock, I'm gonna try 2 more times before going, this is impossible.
Okay, go ahead and make another one.
15.
Okay, so this time, luckily it's a fairly easy lock to break. Now, after you dented it in, so finally realizing that you didn't have proper leverage of using your shield. You compensate for that, and you easily just snap the lock, and it just tumbles to the ground.
Okay. So then I'm gonna open up the thing and see what's inside.
Okay, well, you open up the chest, you see a little pouch off to the side, and a whole bunch of papers just in the middle, and sort of haphazardly put on top of one another.
So I'm gonna take the papers and kind of look through them first, because to me the papers are the more valuable if they have any information on them.
Okay, you're going through the papers. A lot of it, it's all in Goblin right now. You're seeing stuff like, pieces of letters that's just been discarded, like it just hasn't been finished. A whole bunch of these papers are just basically useless scrap paper. As you're going through them, around in the middle area, you come across a paper that is actually full, and it's fully written out. And as you read it, you see that it's basically saying that the next arrival of bugbears, or the next rotation, is going to come in about a couple of days.
I fold up that paper and I put it in a pocket. Okay. And then I'm going to take the pouch and open it up and see what's inside.
Okay, you open up the pouch, you see that there's not too much in there, but you see a little bitty jewels and gems in there, probably somewhere worth around 20 gold or so. Nothing too special or interesting.
Since Mac was nice enough to share his, I'll share mine.
Okay.
Give him half.
All right, so 10 gold to each of you, and as you sort of go through the rest of this trunk, you sort of push away all the other papers, just trying to see if anything else is in there, and you come across a part of the trunk that's sort of bent and sticking up a little bit.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to. Does it look like it could be opened, or?
From what it looks like, it looks like it might be able to rip it off.
Okay, well, I'll try to rip it off.
Do a strength.
Okay. Because
yeah,
our Quinn, he ain't good at picking stuff. Oh well.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
I guess using my hands isn't the smart
you go
thing
to pull out to rip this board, this piece of wood from the chest. As you're going in, you pull up with all your might, and you end up cutting your hand on a splinter that was there. And in the process, you step back and sort of Ah, man. And you take a point of damage.
Dang. Okay, so with my, really, I'm gonna try it again, basically, because I'm angry.
Okay.
Berserker
Oh my
Rage.
gosh. I would like to
You know,
rage.
there's a strong dude nearby. Just
I know there's so many people around you. You're just like, no, I'm doing this. Okay,
Because
you
he's
go,
angry now.
you
I
go
mean,
in.
I figured I was distracted, but
Yeah. At this, Sarquin, you're very frustrated right now, and you just go in again. But with the blood on your hand, you can't really get a good grip on it. So it's just sort of it's creaking a little bit, but you can't seem to pry it
Is there is
much
there like a
open.
blade, like a kind of dagger length or short sword length blade that they used for torturing?
Oh yeah, there's tons of those around.
I'm gonna angrily stomp over to it, grab it, and go back to it and try to use that for leverage.
Okay, then you can do a strength check again with advantage with that. My gosh.
Ah, one.
Oh
15.
man.
Let's see if we can crit. Nope, 15.
Okay, 15. This one, once you have a proper leverage, it's really easy to pop that plank out. So,
Sarquin
using your
feels.
fingers was a great idea.
Sarquin
it's
feels.
like seriously, the DC on this is 10. Why can't you do this?
Because I'm good at talking through things and fighting, not getting things open.
Okay, so you finally pop that plank out, and in there you see a very dusty lone piece of parchment that seems to be folded up very tightly and almost wrapped up and sealed in some sort of sealing agent, something along those lines.
So, wait, does it look like it's been here for like longer than the other papers, like say
Yes.
towards the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, so do I think that maybe someone else could have been using this, and then the bugbears came in and just never found this?
Make an intelligence.
Oh, great. 21.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that this was way before any bugbears came in. It was some other person was using this area, and then the bugbears just didn't realize that this thing was here, and they just built atop of this basically wooden structure that housed this paper.
Yeah, so as not to bleed on the paper, I'm going to wrap my hand up first and
Okay.
make sure like all the blood's off my fingers that isn't dried. And
Okay.
then I'm going to pick up the paper and I'm going to inspect it.
Okay.
Doot-doot-doot-doot.
And on the paper, you sort of look at it. There's no marking on like what it is or what it's like or what, but you notice that there's a title on it, and as you open it up, you notice that it's written in common, so it's really easy to read. Here's what it is.
Oh,
what you see.
awesome! We got part 2 of 5. False.
I gotta read part 1 again.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Yeah, I'm putting up part 1 and part 2 on my screen yeah.
Okay.
So, of all the tools that I did find in there, how much do I think I could sell it for? I.e., how much do I think me and Nap could get for them?
For the tools there, you're thinking not too much. It's very, very, haphazardly constructed for the tools. So you're thinking maybe at best, maybe like 6 gold or something like that for the tools. Not a whole bunch of value.
Okay,
in the
3 more
tools.
gold for me and Nap.
Yeah.
You can keep all 6. I'm not gonna take money from torture devices.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess.
my gosh.
If you want to white knight this, then I guess you don't have to.
Well, of course, he's a paladin. He has to, right?
Yeah.
He has to. He has to white
Yeah.
knight.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's all that you find in the bugbear camp. Good thing you went and searched for that.
Yeah.
There you are. But as Nafazir sort of, I'm guessing the Sarquin, tells everybody about this.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah. No, I would. I would have
Okay.
Okay,
told
so
everyone about it.
Well, good. That's interesting.
yeah, so Naf, as you're hearing this news, you
I
look
would've-
at it. You recall that the lore master Tyron, back in Spellburn, in Spellburn,
Stubborn. Yeah.
was requesting that anything regarding Corin Demis, the author of the part 1 that you saw, to be brought back to him. So that sort of just rings in your mind, just like,
Oh, yeah.
This might be the second part to this. It's like, okay,
Yep. And yeah, I'll make known like, hey, we should probably if we need to stop in Grand Pike first, that's fine, but we should probably then scoot on up to Spellburn and let him know as soon as
Well,
possible.
we're going to past Castle Greyrock, so we might as well stop there too.
Want to take our tongue lashing? Sure.
Well, anyway, we need to head to Grand Pike because I figured out there are troop movements coming in. When did you say? The next few days or the next?
2.
yeah, it's about like 2 or 3 days that says on the
So
paper.
we need to tell them this so they can set up an ambush or something.
Or that just so they're aware. I mean, they can do what they want with it, but with the information. So, I mean, we don't need to tell them how to run their stuff. We can just let them know and be on our way.
Yeah, well, so. Anyway, so did you have fun inspecting all the bodies?
Yep, I gave them their proper death prayers.
Right. So, do you have anything else that you want to do here? Or is there anything that I missed that we should investigate? Or is it prime time that we head off to Grand Pike to tell everyone?
Well, I'm assuming the woman's anxious to get back.
Yeah.
As
So-
you look
Actually,
over,
we do need to stop by Castle Greyrock first because we need to talk to the king about the Minotaur getting a job.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's. I don't know if we should do that first because Grand Pike's on the way. It is
No,
information that
we're going to Grand Pike, then Greyrock,
then Spellburn. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So.
That's probably going to be the safest way to go instead of cutting through the middle. Anyway.
Yeah.
So. But we should make haste.
Yeah, so we're going to Grand Pike.
all right. So the group.
Yeah, getting the Minotaur job on the mind.
I know you do. All right. So after picking through everything that you could at that camp, finding a piece of paper that would be probably best to be returned to Spellburn, you head off towards Grand Pike again, with in tow the new additions to the party as of right now. The woman that you saved, Eliza, as well as the kind bugbear, according to Eliza, as well as the Minotaur.
I mean, with the fury with which she took revenge on the bugbear, I just want to keep an eye on her as we're traveling, just inconspicuously, just to make sure that she's
I'm gonna make
ish
small
for
talk.
somebody who's been through what she's been, and
Okay.
not like so that she's on the up and up, basically.
Gotcha. And as you're sort of looking at her throughout this time traveling, her demeanor doesn't really change much in regards to is she in her right mind or something like that. You do notice that she's been humming a lot though. Like she's been bored and she's been humming and basically singing to herself various tunes and various notes very quietly, but she's singing to herself. That's all that you can really pick up right now.
A lot. So anything that I would like any melodies that I would recognize are just sort of like this, a melodic humming.
Okay. For that, just do a. Oh gosh, I don't know, that's not like really a check, but
I mean, it could be like a knowledge or an
yeah,
intelligence
it's
or
more just
something like that.
intelligence generally.
Sure. Skills, just okay. Never mind. Stats, intelligence. Boop.
Hey.
Okay, so as you're sort of listening to these hummings and singing, you don't really, nothing really comes to mind. You're more thinking that it's just like, her occupying herself or her making up melodies as she goes.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. I just want to make sure it wasn't something that, like, if I
Gotcha.
recognized it, what was it? What would it be from? Or should I be scared?
It's like, oh no, she's summoning something.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, no, you don't get anything like that.
Okay.
Okay, so while we're walking, I'm gonna kind of go up to Nath, and while we're kind of, I'm gonna make sure we're a bit further from the party, and I'm gonna say, okay, look, I'm tired of this whole thing where I'm pissed at you all the time. I'm sure you are too. So here.
Oh, I've never really understood it, but sure, yeah.
Okay.
But I get being jealous. That's fine. I mean, I deal with that.
I'm not jealous. Because if I wanted to be a paladin, I would have just become a paladin. Anyway.
That's not how it works, but okay.
I don't care. I don't even know how it works. I really don't care.
I'm laughing out of character, sorry.
I know. Anyway, I'm going to tell you something out of good faith.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to promise that you're not going to go crazy if I tell you this with things of, oh, they could be this or they might be that. You got to be cool. I know that's hard for you being a paladin and all, but you got to be cool.
Well, I mean, that depends on the severity of the thing and what we're talking about here. I will do my best, of course. I mean, I understand that, most folks can't walk the line I walk. That's fine. So I will do my best to understand that, but smack in the middle.
Like a sharp vampiric maybe thing. Not sure yet.
Oh, from the woman?
Yeah, from the woman. Just figure you should be aware before, like, say we're in combat and something happens and you catch wind of it and you freak out.
Well, we've been traveling through the day. I think if she was a vampire of any kind, that would have some severe effects on her.
She could be half.
Sure, but that would typically indicate that she's not, it's not a full curse or something that she's chosen to do. We'll keep an eye on her. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm not going to go trying to stake her or anything right now because we don't have enough information to make that claim anyway.
Thought stakes didn't kill vampires, I say, just walking away.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna, after that, while we're heading back to Grand Pike, I'm basically gonna make a small talk conversation with everyone.
Okay. As you're sort of talking and walking, everyone sort of notices that off to one of the sides of the, brush and, foliage around, that there's been a lot of, there have been swift movements, and you're sort of drawn to it, and it seems like someone is chasing something, and the person is running towards your group, and as it comes up closer, you see this humanoid wearing a hood, face is generally covered, hood with a short cape on, regular leather gear, has a bow and has a notched arrow in it right now. Currently, it's trying to run through your group right now, but it's sort of stopped and so taken aback with everything that's in front of it and proceeds to try to run around your group.
Well, I don't think we should stop. It could just be a hunter.
I want to see it. Like, is it something like I want to try to get a look at it?
Okay, you see it, and you see that though most of his face is covered, it's a half orc, and you can tell that by the tusks that are piercing up a little too little too high from his sort of bandana-esque mask, and you see that he's just pretty determined to do whatever he is doing, and he doesn't really care too much that he's met you or anything. That's what you can gather from your quick glance at him.
All right. So as he's coming through, be like, "Halt!"
As you say so, the half-orc sort of stops and looks over to you, not saying anything. He just looks and meets. He tries to see where the voice came from and looks towards you.
And I'll put my hand up, kind of palm out in the standard, "Hey, no harm" greeting.
Okay. As you do that, the half-orc gives you a nod. Then he just sort of steps and tries to continue going on.
All right.
While he stopped, can I check? While he stopped, can I check to see if there's any markings that I would recognize as, say, a guild or a group?
Sure. You look, and there's on his armor and everything like that. There's no markings, nothing at all. You see that the armor and like the stuff he's wearing looks very similar to what some people were wearing in Grand Pike.
Wait, is the half orc what we're supposed to be looking for?
Yeah, wait. Yeah, that's looks.
I yell after him, bugbear, right? You're looking for the bugbear. Okay.
Nope.
Not the bugbear, the owlbear. Owlbear, yeah.
As you say owlbear, the half orc who was already going into the other side of the woods stops in his tracks, looks over his shoulder, and then proceeds to put his bow away and walk up towards you again. And
the people back at Grand Pike are worried about you.
He's sort of.
And where's your partner?
He then takes back his hood and pulls down his mask. You see him sort of crack his neck a little bit and stretch his jaw out. And he just sort of looks at you, sort of gauging to see whether he should answer you or not. Then after a while,
I'll show him. I'll point to the king's crest, because I typically wear that.
Yeah.
Openly.
Okay, so as you point to the crest, this half-orc says, Grand Pike's worried about me. Well, us, then?
Yes,
Yes.
Azu mentioned that you guys were missing for some time now.
Yes. Me and Ravel haven't found the owlbear yet. Well, I haven't, at least.
Where's
you guys move back up and check in with Grand Pike?
No, not with Ravel. Once he got word there's an owlbear, there's no stopping him from returning until he finds it.
Well, so why did you guys split up? Isn't it better to stick together?
Yeah, it is better to stick together, but he's just, he's probably only a couple 100 feet in front of me. I saw
We didn't see him come through.
Well, who knows? But, yeah, we were together, but he said he heard something, he saw something, and darted off. Me, being the tracker and trying to actually look for the thing, stayed behind while I looked around and saw him running off. So I'm trying to catch up to him.
Well, if you don't need any help, then we're gonna go past Grand Pike anyway, and we'll just tell him that you're
Is,
okay and that we saw you guys.
is
Just
there anything further you need to report to Grand Pike? Do you want? Do you guys need more help from them?
Ravel wouldn't like that. And so no. We just need to find the owlbear, and Ravel he'll either
Can
pray
I see if
over
he's
it.
holding anything back?
Sure, go and make a sense motive.
while he's doing that, I'm gonna kind of smack my head a bit and take out 5 gold and give it to Zab.
Okay, Zab's just like, and
I'm gonna say as a cut.
he's like, okay, and he's excited. He's very happy.
Okay.
Now, if you realize that he's holding back about telling you all about Ravel and why he wants to go out about the owlbear. Everything else seems pretty truthful, but he's definitely holding information back from you about Ravel himself.
See, out of character. I feel like he, Ravel's probably dead. I mean, there's no reason to press him, though. Well, if you're sure you and Ravel, why wouldn't Ravel want any help with this?
It's him and his fascination with owlbears.
Yes, but
if anyone
pride
killed
comes
one,
before the fall.
well, he has a fascination. That's all that I can surmise from him about owlbears. So if anyone else got in the way, or anyone got in his way, he wouldn't like it.
Well, sure, I can understand that, but help isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially if you get
a stubborn man
pushed.
when it comes to this. Very stubborn.
Yeah, but if you have more people, you can kind of, push it where you want it to go and flush it into maybe a trap or.
Ravel's something else when it comes to owlbears, but I'm sure he'd gladly accept any help if it's any other beast. It's owlbears, though, that gets him all worked up.
Owlbear killed his parents.
Mm. Well,
I mean, if you happen to see him or want to go and find him, he'll sure to talk to you about it, but don't expect him to.
As he said, I mean, it looks like you're coming through this way. We didn't see him come through, and if he was only, a couple 100 yards in front of you, we should have very well seen him.
Well, true. And I don't know if...
So are you sure you're going the right way to find him? Or are you sure you're, still on his trail?
Oh, I hope I am. Oh, it'd be a disgrace as a ranger. And he sort of places his hand on his forehead and sort of just like, oh great, am I seriously doing something wrong here? Like he's second guessing himself now.
See, I don't think my tracking skills are terribly good. Otherwise, I'd.
You can definitely try. See if you can.
Yeah, I'll give that a shot. I guess to see if I can, notice maybe he went through just before we came through this area or whatever.
Okay.
What would that be? Survival?
I think survival would be the best.
Okay, if I don't have tracking. Okay. Oh, there it is. That doesn't look great. I don't have farsighted on survival.
Alright, so, looking about, and sort of talking to, whom you believe is now Nokim about, Ravel and things, you sort of get the idea that he was wearing pretty heavy armor on, so you can sort of use that to your advantage. You're sort of looking around. You see heavy foot tracks, not going the way that Nokim was headed, but more along the way you're headed, then veering off to the left.
So I'll kind of point him out, like, well, do these look like his tracks?
Nokim sort of looks down and he's just like, maybe they are.
Looks like he may have made a turn north here.
Is there a check to make sure he's actually a ranger, because he's not acting very ranger-like?
It'd just be like a do like a wisdom, I think.
Yeah, sense motive.
Sense
maybe.
motive would probably be the best. See if he's actually a ranger.
I mean,
Is he
I
thinking-
think these are his tracks. They might not be, though, even though I've technically been following them for so long. No, I can't really tell.
You can't tell either way. You're just like, oh, what? Yeah.
Well, it looks like he's heading the same direction we are. He should just travel with us, and hopefully we'll run into him here. And we'll keep our ears and eyes peeled for any sign of him.
Nokim then puts his hood back on, and he says, "Sure, I'll see if Ravel is up here somewhere."
And we'll try to keep an eye, I'll
Gotcha.
try to keep an eye on the tracks and make sure they don't veer off in any way, because I'm not convinced of this guy's skills.
All right. Then I'm suggesting you. I mean, I'm assuming you're gonna walk on then.
Yeah,
Alright.
I think
Yeah.
we'll keep going. I don't think we need to muss about here too long, especially if he's getting further away or whatever, and we need to get
He
to
didn't
Grand
seem
Pike
like
as
he
quickly as
murdered
possible.
anyone, so-
All right. So as you're moving along, the tracks that you sort of saw beforehand.
And I'll keep an eye out for owlbear tracks too, because
Okay.
if they're in this area and he's in if Ravel's in such a rush, then maybe he saw something here.
All right. For that, do another survival. See if you can
Oh,
see
God.
about Owlbear specifically.
Okay.
Because I'm
I'm
not
not
just
gonna
let-
get
I'm
lucky
not
on these
letting
all
you have
night.
to-
Oh.
Oh, okay.
All right. Maybe I'll be all right.
Yeah. So, in regards to tracks, there's not too many tracks around, but you do notice that the foliage and the general environment has been sort of moved in such a manner that would suggest something large has gone through. So, based upon the the footprints from what you think is Ravel, and then the big pushing of the foliage and stuff, you're fairly certain that the owlbear's fairly close,
Okay.
and
Alright.
and it's probably closer than it's pretty close.
I'll point out my findings to Ravel and Sarquin too. I'll kind of make sure that Sarquin notices that I'm pointing this out to Nukim.
Okay, Nokim is just sort of he's not really paying attention right now. He's just sort of just hanging his head in shame. And when you say I think an owlbear might be over there, he looks over and then he hangs his head back in that same defeated stance.
The paladin showing him up on his
Exactly.
rangering ability.
Yeah, and you can see that his walk has become more insecure. If you've ever seen a half-orc do so.
I'm gonna lean over to Onavok and go, "So, are we gonna add this owlbear to the group?"
Onavok whispers and is just yes!
And I go, "Hey guys, maybe we should check on the owlbear, See if it wants to come with us."
Oh my gosh. As it goes on, the owlbear and the other tracks sort of, slow as it's getting closer and closer. It's not running anymore, as beforehand to be running pace. Now it's more walking. It's getting closer and closer to Grand Pike. You're still a little bit ways away from Grand Pike, but you're far enough away that still, forests and, grass. Yeah, around the middle area of between the bugbears.
Yeah.
Around
Gotcha.
there. You're still around there. You're still making your way up there. The owlbear tracks seem to be on the path for the most part. And as you're going on, make a spot check, both of you. Now, if you
Gotcha.
you get the far-sighted stuff. So.
Okay, cool. Spot. Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay. Sark, when you're just looking around, just trying to see if you can find anything else that would lend you, help. Be like, oh, where's that owlbear pet? You're so engrossed with thinking about the pet aspect that you're not looking for the owlbear. Now, if you notice off in the distance that there's this crouched figure in this heavier-looking armor, human, and you notice that. Yeah, he's basically crouched. He doesn't have any weapons out or anything. He's just crouched, sort of up against a tree, sort of peering out into the forest.
So I'll kind of just put my hand out and tap Nokeem, be like, and point. I don't want to make a. Yeah. I don't want to make a scene, but because we don't want to startle.
Gotcha.
Ravel, but
at that, Nokeem sort of looks at where you're pointing. You swear you hear a and this sort of defeated sigh, and you
get the sense he's trying to stay away from Ravel.
No, you have a pretty good idea that he's defeated, that a non-ranger was able to find Ravel before he would that someone would show him up at his own game.
I'm not going out of my way to make him feel bad about these things, though. He's in fact, I'm going to try to be a little bit more sensitive about could this be it? Oh, is that him?
Yeah. No, after you pointed out, Nokeem's just like, stay back a little bit. I'll go talk to him. And with that, he pulls out his bow and arrow again, and he quietly runs up to this crouched figure, taps him on the shoulder. The figure turns around, and you see a more clearer face. You see that his hair is like a really dark gray in some parts, but a lot of it is white. He's not too old, but he's like around 40 to 50, but it seems like some stuff's happened where it's just like his genetics is just, he has whiter hair than normal.
Yeah.
You see that he has this very short, stubbly beard that he has. You see that he's wearing heavier armor, and you notice that on his person you see a symbol of Mikale. And as you're both sort of looking at him, Sarquin, you notice that there are engravings on his armor and on his sword that he carries, but it's from where you're standing, it's too far to tell what those engravings are. Both of you see this, but you don't know exactly what these engravings mean or what they are from this distance.
Okay. Do they appear to be religious or just in general engravings?
The engravings, make a religion check for basically his whole entire outfit.
Sure. Okay.
Sarquin, you can do the same if you wish.
A religion check?
Knowledge religion.
Gotcha.
Alright. Okay. Okay, so...
well, there goes the religion that I'm so great with for no reason whatsoever.
I know, really. Alright, so you're looking... nothing about the engravings seem to be religious. You notice that the symbol about Mikale is obviously religious.
Sure.
And both of you can easily tell that this man either is was, or at some point, either a paladin or a cleric of Mikole. You don't know exactly what it is, but you know that if this person has a symbol blatantly put on his person, that he must be,
Yeah.
a devout follower of one way or another. Nothing about the engravings seem to be religious at all, though.
Okay.
And after a while, Nokeem comes back to you ever so quietly, and he says to you, "All right, well, thanks. Ravel said he found the owlbear, which is just out there. So, he said if you wanted to talk to him, then it's fine. But if not, thanks again for helping me find him."
Yeah, you'd have been a bit off the mark, I think. No problem.
Yeah.
So are we going to be passing where Rovel's like little hidey hole as we continue heading?
Be, yeah.
All right. Well then,
you'd be passing him. So.
And we'll probably stop and exchange some pleasantries with him along the way. Or at least I will, acknowledge him and be like, "Hey, found your boy."
All right. All right. And at that, Nokeem then does a quick nod towards the entire group and quietly goes back towards sort of into the forest a little bit, as Ravel sort of still looking and watching.
The inept ranger.
Well, no, he okay, whatever. But yeah, as you guys keep on walking, you come across Ravel about 20, 30 feet off to the side of the road. He doesn't seem to be taking notice of you yet. Like, he knows people are there, but he doesn't like look away from where he's looking at or anything.
If I look at where he's looking, do I see anything? Can I tell if the owlbear is that way or looks like it went that way?
Yeah, from what you can tell, that you can make out that there's a sort of this large shadow in the distance. You're guessing that might be the owlbear, but it doesn't seem like the shadow's moving at all or anything like that.
So as we get to him, be like, "So did you get him yet? Do you need help?"
Ravel is just like, "Nah, I'm good."
They're pretty dangerous to take on one-on-one.
I'm not taking him on. Make sure it's safe.
Oh. Well, they're pretty worried about you in Grand Pike. What are your plans with the owlbear? Or just to follow it around forever?
I told you to make sure it's safe. And
sure. From what?
From anything. I heard a scream. I thought I would be hurt or something. That's all. And as you're sort of there, you're up close enough where you can see the engravings more clearly. And for those of you who speak Elvish, you can read the one on his sword, because that's the one that's visible. I don't believe Naf speaks Elvish.
I was going to say, I don't think
Elvish.
Sarquin, I know you speak Elvish.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, so on the sword, you see the Elvish word for justice engraved into the blade itself.
Awesome. I have an engraving on my sword, too.
And on the sword, you can see that there's this... oh, no, it's not. Never mind. Sorry, forget that. I thought it was something else, but no. Yeah, you just see the word justice engraved in Elvish on the sword. You hear this sort of low moan out from the forest, and Ravel sort of puts his hand out to the group and he says, "Wait here, don't do anything stupid, I'll be right back." And he gets up and walks towards the big shadowy figure thing.
Okay.
I look to Nath and go, would it be stupid to leave? Because I think we should get to Grand Pike.
Let's give it a minute or two, just so in case anything happens, we don't want to be startling it while he's getting close to it. We don't need to be responsible for him getting mauled.
Yeah, I guess. And
We can spare 15 minutes. It's no big deal.
All right, as you're sort of talking, you hear Ravel's voice sort of echo towards you. She's like, "Is there a healer over there?"
All right, I can. I'll walk towards him.
All right. As you're walking towards him, you see on the ground that there's little spatters of red blood leading towards where Ravel is. You see Ravel sort of knelt down. You see that there's an owlbear laying on its side, sort of crusted wound on one of its sides and on one of its legs, and you see that it's sort of breathing very heavily. And you see that Ravel is actually using magic to try to heal this owlbear right now, and he just wants more help to do so.
Okay.
He looks around and he sees you and he's like, "You're a healer?
Well, I can do some healing.
Like, get over here, help me." And then,
all right. Does the owlbear seem panicked or anything like that?
More like in pain than panicked.
Okay. All right. Well, the first thing I'm going to do before I, actually do any healing on it, I want to, talk to it a little bit, even if it obviously doesn't understand me, just and try to calm it, because I do have animal affinity.
Okay.
And then I'll do a lay on hands, which I have to look up exactly how that works again.
Okay. So once you figure out how to do lay on hands, I want you to make an animal handling check as well to try to see if you can calm him down a bit. Okay. Yeah. So as you're sort of soothing him a little bit, you see that the overall body language of the owlbear you see that it's relaxed slightly, not too much, but you see that your words have done at least something to it. The tone of your voice helped it a little bit.
Oh dear. Well, I haven't raised my charisma yet, so.
I was about to say, did you do that, or? It's like,
I've been reading the book.
I know it takes a while to read the books and get bonuses from it.
Let's see. I don't get. Let's see. We're not.
You can, if you can't do lay on hands, you can try to do a basic heal check as
well. Yeah,
so,
I do have extra skills in heal.
Yeah, you can do that as well.
That?
So you can do that.
Did it go? No, it didn't. Come on. Hello, Roll20. Let me re-open my character sheet. Oh, healer's kit. Yes, I have a healer's kit.
Okay, cool. So that gives you some. Okay, cool. So with the combined, natural healing that you're providing, as well as the divine.
And I'll be praying while I do this to AMA, like to
okay.
Help all of your creatures and etc. etc.
Okay, cool. So with your your sort of knowledge about with the healer's kit and everything with that, and the divine healing that Ravel is currently placing on this owlbear, you manage to what you believe is like the wound that it had. It is closed up a little bit more, and you can see that the owlbear is actually feeling a little bit better as well. So, good on you. That was good.
All right.
After a while,
I realized after I walked up, I'm like, oh crap! I don't actually have that. I need more charisma for that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have used that as my dump stat.
Yeah. Ravel, after a while, looks relieved as he turns to you and says, "Thanks a lot." And he goes over to the owlbear, where the owlbear's face is. He sort of reaches out and pets it, just casually pets an owlbear right in front of you. And he says to the owlbear, "It's all right. It's all right. You see, you're all better now. Okay. Get some rest. Get on out of here. Okay. You don't want this to happen to you again, right? All right. Cool." And with that, he sort of pets it again and stands up and looks to you and says,
might want to direct him away from the human cities, though, because that's where he's going to be more likely to be attacked.
Right. All right. Yeah, I'll be sure to do that. Once
Okay.
he's closer to the wilds, I'll stop following him. So he looks back over to the owlbear. Beautiful creature.
Scary creature, but yeah, sure. They're cute.
Not to me. Beautiful in my eyes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I do have one healing potion available if you think he needs more.
Um. Nah, I think he'll be okay. Don't want him to get used to healing potions or anything like that.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um,
Thank you, though.
and you don't think he'll be a threat to any of the human towns around here or Grand Pike itself?
Nah, as long as I'm around, I don't think he'll attack anybody near me. I can just lead him over to the wilds. That'll be fine.
So, what's with your affinity for, as we're walking away, obviously I don't
Yeah.
want to be startling the owlbear. So what's your affinity with the owlbears here?
Well, yeah, that was a while back. Came from the City of Leaves, that's why. And as you're walking back, Sarquin, you hear this as well.
He came from the City of Leaves, or you mean the owlbear did?
You asked for his affinity, so he said from when he was in the City of Leaves.
Oh.
Would I recognize him or no?
Not immediately. But I want you to make a knowledge check when he says something. So when I say, okay, roll knowledge check, Sarquin, you'll know when it is. All right. So as you're walking, he sort of like, yeah, City of Leaves. It was maybe 30 years ago or so, something like that. Yeah, craziness. Oh, by the way, I haven't introduced myself fully. I am Ravel Tresset. Pleasure. Paladin of Mikale, and all that stuff.
Ravel.
Tresset.
Okay.
And at that name, Sarquin, make a knowledge. Do local.
History or local?
Local for you, because it's a thing. Okay, yeah.
That would
So,
have been home.
well, no, it's with you. It was really low for you because yeah. So you recall that this last name, Tresset, was one of the family names of one of the paladins that, like, it was a generational sort of thing in the City of Leaves, but that family left the City of Leaves before the whole debacle of in the City of Leaves with the paladins. So they left beforehand. You recognize his last name, and you might have seen him around a couple of times there, like working somewhere, but you're not too sure. Like he might have come back or something, but you don't know for certain.
Right, I'm not gonna pay much attention to it then, you know. Not my problem.
Gotcha. And as he's walking towards you, Sarquin, you notice the other engravings on his armor itself. You see that there are 4 more engravings in total. There's one on his left hand, the left, more like left bracer, the right bracer. Oh, so no, sorry. There were 3. Sorry, not 4. 3 on his armor itself, then 1 on the sword. 1 on his left bracer, 1 on his right bracer, and 1 on his breastplate. That is on the left side of his chest, near around where his heart area would be. Somewhere, like, yeah. On his left bracer, you see the word protection in Elvish, and on the right bracer, you see the word oh gosh, no, it's not that word. Oh gosh, what word was it? Forgot the word.
Justice was the one.
Justice was 1. Protection is on the left bracer. The right bracer is revenge, and then on the breastplate you see a name in Elvish. You see the name Kala.
Oh, okay.
And then you see he's sort of standing. For a paladin, you notice that he's not orthodox at all, just from the way he talks, the way he presents himself, and you can just guess that he's not like Neff. Let's just put it like that.
Wasn't called.
Oh.
I get it. No.
But yeah,
So
Ravel
I'm
then
actually.
goes.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask him as he, obviously this is while after he introduces himself. That's when Sarquin's making his observations about it. But after he introduces himself, I'll say, well, so as a human, why were you in the City of Leaves, which is an elvish place across the continent that's quite a ways from home?
Yeah. Well, I was in the City of Leaves, I went back there because my family used to be part of the Paladins over there. Whole stuff happened there. I don't want to get into that. That's a whole bunch of different mess. He's pointing to you, Sarquin. He's like, he can probably tell you about it. It was bad. Let me tell you. Those nope, can't.
Four paladins.
Can't
all
say that
go
word.
through.
I can't say that word. I'm a paladin. Can't do that. Choice word for those people. Yeah, Sarquin. That elf he can tell you all that stuff. But I was over there.
I'll have him fill me in later. Okay, so you were over there though. So you went back?
I went back. Yeah, it was like, yeah, I didn't want. I mean, yeah, I'm still a paladin, sure, but I mean, I didn't dress as a paladin back then, so it was just like they just thought I was really religious. So it worked out for me. I didn't get, too many mean looks or anything. I helped out a lot over there, so that's why I was back there. I
helped
left.
Out the city, or helped out the church, or
more the city, more like the orphanages and stuff.
Okay.
Then I left after I was about 25 or so when I left City of Leaves, and then again, my second time, and I haven't been back since.
I just realized something. That story actually also plays in really well with Onavok's backstory. Because I say they went after a lich.
Dun dun dun.
Oh my god. Realization sinking. Okay.
He's like, yeah. Does that answer that?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was just more curious than anything else. It's a long way for a human to go, so
yeah.
Just curious. Well, may AMA and Mikele both be with you.
As to you,
I'm assuming he's heading off in a different direction to follow the owlbear, right?
Yeah, he's gonna do that. So.
But I'll wish him obviously blessings of both AMA and Mikele.
He just says, "You too." That's basically it.
That's fine. He's a hippie paladin. It's cool.
Wait, so a hippie paladin is a nice paladin. Gotcha. Okay,
nice
so what?
I thought you thought, because of your experience with them and the
No, like a not completely I'm better than you because I'm a paladin.
Hey, just because you weren't called, man, you don't have to be jealous. Leave the jealousy behind. It's fine.
Oh, God.
You understand that not everybody can be called.
I need the most drinks.
Oh, my gosh. But yeah, Sarquin, you get the feeling that Ravel is just sort of like, yeah, I'm a paladin, so what? And you can guess that if he's trying to curse or something, he's literally he's trying to, but he's like, nope, I can't say that. sort of thing. So he's that kind of guy.
See, I like him. I like him a
The
lot.
only paladin you like.
I like his personality. I don't like the job description.
Ah, okay. So you like him, but just not
Not the
paladin
job.
type of him.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Sarkon, anything you want to talk to him about, or?
No, there's no real big connection between us, and if I did talk to him, it would probably just bring up more things that he doesn't want to get into, so I feel it's best that we just continue on our way to Grand Pike and leave him to watch the owl bears.
Okay. All right. Cool. And as you were sort of like saying your goodbyes and all that stuff, he sort of turns to you and he's like, "Oh, by the way, you seem like at least fairly well-traveled group, considering who you have here. I want to see if you've seen something. It's important to me."
Okay, what is it?
Okay. He sort of pulls out this piece of paper and he then begins to draw something on the paper. You see that. Here, let me draw this. It's going to be at the top, near the top of the map. Then I'll just delete it afterwards, because I don't want it, cluttering it. Here, okay. So you see that he draws. He first draws a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see this sort of like half moon, and then and you see this. Then that.
Is it a blank sheet of paper, or is there other stuff on it?
No, he just drew that on it.
Okay. No, I was just curious.
Have we seen that before?
Make a.
I was gonna say, is it a religious symbol?
Do a religion check.
Okay.
Both of us?
Yeah. Or if you don't think it's religion, maybe then history.
I'm just gonna do the history because that's pretty all-encompassing.
Oops, I didn't mean to roll it. Oh wait, yeah, I didn't roll twice. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
okay. So you both look at the symbol, and now if you're looking at it, see from a religious point of view what this symbol is.
Yeah.
You're looking at it. You don't. It's not any symbol of any deity itself. You're thinking it might be sort of a symbol of like possibly a branch of worshippers of some deity,
Okay.
or
Yeah,
something
I'm
like
looking. I also want to be looking at the components of it as well, not just like not the entire symbol, obviously, first,
Gotcha.
and then
Okay.
like individual components. Like,
what
do I
each
recognize
means.
any of the? Yeah, do I recognize any of the components as meaning something in particular? Because okay, maybe I don't recognize the symbol, but like that crescent part might be from this god, so it's this branch of followers or something, or this,
Okay.
This type of follower.
Gotcha. All right, I'll get to that in a little
Okay.
bit. Sarquin, for history, you're going through your minds like, what could this symbol possibly mean? You're looking through, you're sort of racking your head around what it could be, and you sort of have an idea that it might be a sort of the same as NAF, sort of like a symbol of some sort of group that's been around for a while, that you might have had connections with, not connections, sorry, you might have had a run-in or two. It's very vague, though, that you can't really place it too specifically.
Can I think? Can I do another check if I want to see if I could?
This circle is supposed to be filled in, and it's supposed to be smaller, but yeah, it's supposed to be a filled-in circle. My bad.
I was wondering if I could do another check to see if it was like related to the necromancers.
Okay, that'd be that one would. That'd be more religion for necromancer-related stuff. Or the planes, yeah.
Or local, yeah.
Or yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, you don't. You're
Oh no,
not
I didn't
sure.
mean to do. I didn't mean to do planes. I meant to do. Whatever.
Yeah, it's about the same. You're
Yeah,
not
he
too
was
sure.
exactly.
You're not too sure.
So,
Now, if in looking at the symbol itself, in regards to maybe a certain deity based on the components,
Mhm.
you're thinking that maybe parts of it could be for one of the evil gods, or possibly even the god of death because of the crescent's shape.
Mhm.
But you're a bit unsure if it's just just Mordeth and death, or if it's something more sinister.
Hmm.
But it's definitely
Well, I'll
it's nothing related to good. That's like that
right.
for sure.
That's clear. Okay. So I'll let him know my suspicions, like, and the degree of confidence I have, which is low.
Okay.
And we might want to like say, Odavok, does
Yeah.
this ring a bell?
Onavok, I'll roll for him right now just to see if he
Yeah,
if he
just
can.
because if it might be something of evil, even if it's something related to the necromancers, he'd have a better shot of recognizing that than either me or Sarquin would.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna. I don't know his stats off the top of my head, but I'll see what he gets for this. Okay, so with his stats, with that, Onavok sort of looks at the symbol and he says, "That's not necromancers. I know that for a fact. That's nothing with the necromancers. Um, it
Good.
might be another group, but it's not a necromancer symbol. I know that for a fact." And he sort of
So we'll
looks
give
at
him
it
whatever
some
information we
more.
have.
He looks at it some more and is like, "That's it reminds me of the necromancers, but it's I mean, it looks evil."
Well, the necromancers worship Gurmosh, right?
Onavok nods and it's like, "Yeah, Gurmosh mainly."
And the guy we're supposed to be fighting has has an axe that we were told bears the symbol of Gurmosh.
Yeah, but this is not the symbol of Gurmosh. Nothing really.
But it could be him, and he could have made that his calling card. That's just a spitball idea.
Are you saying this in character or out of character?
In character, it's just a spitball idea.
Okay. As you say that, Ravel just shakes his head and he's like, "Nah, no way, it's that."
Okay. Well, I mean that's all we'd be able to tell you about it, though. Sorry, we're not
all
more
right.
help on it.
If you see anything that bears it like this, find me.
Are we gonna leave that
Do we
up
have a way to get in touch with you?
Come to Grand Pike. I'm usually around there somewhere.
All right.
If not, they know where I've gone. So.
Well, if you'd check in, they'd probably have a better idea where you are.
True.
So, you should do that after you see to the owlbear.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Someone's worried about me, I guess. So, might as well.
Hey, we heard about you before we met you, so yes, somebody has brought you up. So yeah, so you should probably check in with them.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
He's getting flustered because people care about me.
He's blushing. Aww.
No, you don't see any blush. He's just very dismissive, right? He's just like,
Sure.
yeah, whatever.
He's a loner. Whatever. That's fine.
Yeah,
so
that's
we'll
what you can
continue.
gather.
Yeah, we'll continue on our way. Then we're not gonna, unless he has anything else that he needs to know from us.
No, after that, he's just like, all right.
All right. Later.
Bye. And with that, he just.
Wait. Well, before we leave, is the ranger next to him?
He's around there somewhere. Like
I'm gonna take out the giant spider egg and go. Would you know any way of how to raise this?
He looks at it.
Have I seen this spider egg before? Do I know what the hell this thing is?
You've seen him pull it out before. You've heard that it's a spider egg. You just know.
Pretty goddamn big one.
Yeah, it's a big spider egg. And you just.
Why are you trying to raise spiders? Oh.
Because I want my pet. I mean, look, he has. Onavok has Nightshade.
Okay.
I want a spider.
Yeah, but oh god, you don't want a pet that can eat you.
I mean, his pet could technically eat him. And I point to
Onavok's
Nightshade.
No.
Not with a not with a
No.
stomach. Not without a stomach.
It could like tear him into pieces
Unbox
and
like,
then do
no,
the fun.
Nightshade loves me. He would never do that.
Also, he raised, like,
I
literally
literally raised him.
him.
Uh,
So, like, I mean, I like, he's gonna have a larger measure of control than, like, if a spider just pops out and, anything that pops out of that egg is likely gonna be hungry. Have you thought about how you're gonna feed something that is freshly out of an egg? It's
I
gonna
am sure there'll be a horse around.
oh my gosh.
No, we're not giving it a horse.
Anyway,
as this conversation's happening, you see Nokeem sort of grab his chin and like sort of look at the spider egg, and he's just like, maybe, I could look into it.
I go. You know what? I trust you more with this. Tell you what.
Whoa, I don't want to keep that thing.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? I said
go,
I know how to raise
That's
it.
my point.
I don't
No,
know how to
it's-
serve it.
That's my point.
No, it's gonna come out and it's gonna be small. All you gotta do, if you don't know how to deal with it, then you just crush it.
It's gonna be small. Look at the size of the egg.
It's
It's gonna be small. It's gonna be about as big as the egg.
It's an egg for a giant spider, so about how big a baby giant spider would be.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
Nokeem is firmly opposed to this. Like, I don't want to carry that thing around. It would slow me down. Please.
Fine.
And out of character, do you want that ranger taking care of anything?
Right.
He had some bad rolls, okay?
I'm gonna wrap it back up, and I'm like, I'm sure they have some wizards back at the castle. I'll ask them if they can do some magic to make it a nice spider.
Sure. Anyway, even if I did know how to raise something like that, you do realize it's gonna be hard, right? It's a vermin. Not really tameable.
Damn.
I mean, it's possible, but it's gonna be pretty hard.
Well, you're goddamn right.
They don't.
I'm gonna
They
do
don't
it.
even have animal level intelligence.
I have an idea. Okay, so we go to
He
the
wants
wizard.
to ride a spider into battle.
No, we go to the
He
wizard.
wants to put Zab on it.
Maybe. But we go to the wizard, and then the wizard does some magic-y hoo-ha, and he switches out its mind for that of a dog.
I thought you were gonna say for that a Zab.
That would be cool, too. I asked Zab if he wants to be in a spider's body.
No, I like my
I go,
body.
Ah. I go, okay, we won't force it.
Oh, okay.
And then I go, but still, I mean, come on. A giant spider?
I mean, you do you, but I don't think it's a great idea. And
I
don't
mean,
be
I think
surprised
it's
if
a
we
terrible-
if we do have to, squish it. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a terrible idea, but totally doing it.
Then why are you carrying it around with you?
Because you only live once.
Yeah, if you want to die young.
yeah, I was gonna say
I'm
you only
100
live once, and probably not for very long.
Exactly.
I'm 142 so far. I think I got this.
Okay.
Now, obviously, you've gained very little wisdom in that time, but whatever.
At that
I'm
comment,
actually-
Nokeem, you hear Nokeem. Some got caught in my throat.
Actually, wisdom is my dumb stat, so. So I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah.
With that, Nokeem is just like, yeah, good luck with that.
I go, no, I have a great idea.
If it's as
And
great as carrying a spider egg with you,
No, it's as great as getting rid of the spider egg. Watch this. And then I'm going to take out the spider egg, and I'm going to go over to, like, a tree, and I'm going to put it on top of a tree branch and go, and now it'll hatch in a tree.
Onavox sort of goes over to you and is like, dude, we gotta catch them all.
Ah, yeah, I take it back, and I wrap it up, and I'm like, you are a sorcerer, though, so you'll probably be able to use, I don't know, magic-y sort of stuff, and I give it to Onabok.
And Onabok is like, I could raise it from the dead when it dies. It's okay.
Oh, for crying out loud.
I go, that's a great point.
Fingers in my ears, la 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 la.
Yeah, Nokeem is just sort of...
I'm just walking off at that point.
Yeah, Nokeem is, at this point, Nokeem doesn't even... He's just walking off with Ravel at this point, sort of waving to you as you go.
I wave and put the spider egg back.
Oh my gosh. But, okay, out of character for... sorry. That was something Ordabok would say. I have to say that is something he would do.
Nope, totally.
It's like, no, he wants that spider egg to hatch.
Yeah. If it dies, I can just raise it.
It's like, that's why I became a necromancer.
To raise the spiders.
Okay, at that point, after all this talk about spider raising, you are going back to Grand Pike. Nothing else really happens on the way back. You come to Grand Pike.
Brooklyn breathes a sigh of relief that he doesn't have to answer any of Naf's questions.
Well, that could be happening while you're going to Grand Pike.
Oh god.
That's if Naf wants to ask
Wait, what?
anything.
What about the spider egg?
No, about the paladins at City of Leaves, like what happened.
Oh, yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. I actually need to do that.
So, are you asking?
Yes, as we're traveling, I mean, I don't think it's anything we need to, like, stop and talk about. I think that's something we could probably, assuming we're not in any danger, to talk while we're walking. Like, I think we should do that while we're on our way.
As we're walking, Cyclone goes, oh god, it's a long story.
Well, we've got time. We've got to walk away.
Okay, so around when I was 20-ish, so about 120-ish years ago, my sister was traveling with, and this is before she became general. It's pretty recent. Bad promotion. Anyway, she was traveling with, I forget if she was she was captain at this point, I think. So, anyway, she was traveling with a band of her soldiers. There was, like, I think around 5-ish of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, they're traveling down, doing some patrols, going through the outskirts of the Evergreens, kind of going a bit into the forest, and then they came across a group of 4 paladins. There was one of AMA, one of Ulus, and what were the other 2? There were 2 of, I think, who's the god that Onavok did?
Ceres.
Okay, so it's Ceres, 2 of Ceres. And so...
And what was the other one? AMA, Ceres, and what was the other one?
Ulus, the god of strength and war.
Yeah. So... the paladins all kind of fell into a place where they had to make camp together, and they started talking about how in the forest there was a lich, and that more and more undead were coming into some of the local smaller towns in the Evergreens. And so, since they were a threat to the Evergreens, my sister and her squad decided that they'll help the paladins. The paladins, knowing that they're going to be fighting a bunch of undead and a lich, decided that, help would be good. Sure. So, they all go and get in, and during their travels, they get into one fight. I'm trying to remember the story off the top of my head, I'm sorry. But they get into a fight with a small group, a band of undead, and manage to fell a rather powerful undead. I forget what type it was, my sister said, but she obviously exaggerates some of her deeds and some of her stuff she fights. So, anyway, they fell around the rather powerful undead while on the way to this lich's sanctum, and they all decided to party, I guess. And they kinda decided through the night that after having a bit to drink, and of course most of the paladins didn't drink. One, I believe it was the paladin of AMA, decided to have a bit, not much. They all decided to go to sleep. Well, in the middle of the night, there's a scream, a new undead body on the ground, and one of my sister's men is dead. However, there was also a paladin that was up, one of the ones of Cirrus. And he said that the undead had came in and killed her soldier, and that, he managed to kill the undead. However, my sister and her men managed to deduce, along with the other paladins, I'll throw that in, managed to deduce that that was impossible because, one, the man was stabbed through in the abdomen, and the undead had no blade by him, and also there were drag marks that were very hard to see, but drag mark nonetheless of how the body was dragged into position. So, it was also deemed that that man and that the man in her party and that paladin were in a heated argument while, in the center of the camp while everyone was going to sleep. So most of the people didn't hear it because it was in whispers not to wake anyone up. But a few of the other paladins and men heard it. So, confronted with the all the evidence that this man had killed this soldier, he drew his mace and attacked my sister. Of course, murder, it severs, ties to the paladins, and
yeah, it's a bit of a no-no.
He kind of lost all his power, or most of it, because, he went directly against his paladin order and God by murdering someone.
Right.
So they
One of the
managed.
dangers.
All of the paladins and the rest of the people managed to take him out with ease, and so he died. Next, They kept moving, and while they were moving, I forget. Crap. So while they were moving, they got into a fight with another band of undead. This time, I believe with another powerful undead. So this time, it was another powerful that they had, and so they fall it. And they decide that they're gonna, since it's a somber mood, since the paladins lost one of their friends to
and one of the soldiers,
devices, everyone decided that they were going to celebrate again. This time, all of the paladins decided to drink a bit. However, the other Cirrus... Is it Cirrus?
Yeah, the god of knowledge, Cirrus.
Yeah, the god. The other Cirrus paladin drank far more than anyone else and tried to attack my sister in a way, that is most unbefitting of a paladin. So, of course, he's drunk. She's way more, in tune with not getting drunk. And then everyone else around her, pull him off him, tie him up. After what he tried to do, and everything that had happened, drinking too much, and then trying to, my sister. The other paladins and him could feel his, basically ties with his god and his paladin thing, sever, because broken oath. So, He becomes a sobbing wreck. My sister forgives him. They end up, when he's not drunk anymore, they let him go, and he ends up becoming a cleric, and he's now still friends with my sister. It's a really weird dynamic they have. Anyway,
Sure.
keep going on, and you still have the Paladin of Ama and the Paladin of Ulus. The Paladin of Ulus, they end up going, and they get to the very entrance of the cavern. And so, Paladin of Ulus, Paladin of Anime are talking about what to do. They manage to get through a lot of the traps, and the Paladin of AMA ends up, he gets scared. Not by like a fear spell, but he gets scared, and they're about halfway through the dungeon, so there's no real easy way out, because they did manage to slip past some undead, so if he ran off on his own, he wouldn't be able to get out on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And so the other people are trying to calm him down, and in his head, the Lich basically says, "Turn on your friends, and I'll let you out." So, I don't know what was running through his head, or why this seemed like a good option to him, but it was his decision, because the Paladin of Ulu said that his bond got severed, so it wasn't his... He broke his oath. It wasn't mind control. So, anyway, he, out of fear and desperation to get out, I guess, takes out his long sword, or is it a great sword? I can never remember. My sister changes it up. It's probably a great sword. Takes out his great sword and attacks my sister and her friends, killing 2 of the other 5 men. Of the other 4 men.
Mm-hmm.
And beating up my sister a good bit and the other paladin. However, they did manage to knock him into a trap and kill him. So that's 3 out of the 4 paladins so far who broke their oaths. And so, heading deeper into the cavern after a long rest and everyone getting back up, the Paladin of AMA, no, the Paladin of Ulus, the Paladin of AMA was the other one.
Yeah, it was like you killed him. Yeah.
Paladin of Ulus keeps going and is getting talked to by the Lich. And at first, it's not really registering with this Paladin until the Lich strikes the chord of the Paladin's mother, who is apparently ill, and the Lich said that, and this is around the point where they got into the inner sanctum of the Lich said that if the Paladin turned on his friends, the Lich would help him and his mother get rid of the sickness and be free and be, you know, he also promised immortality, but the guy only wanted his mother to be safe. So he had this huge mental debacle going on. And while they were fighting the Lich and he got offered this, he stopped dead in his tracks, looked at my sister, said I'm sorry, started attacking them. So anyway, how this ends is he goes, they fight, knock my sister out cold. Apparently the other 2 men who were with my sister managed to kill him and strike a death blow against the Lich, who was already pretty injured by that point. So then, sister comes back with her 2 men, tells them everything that happened with the 4 paladins, and... oh, wait, no. I said that wrong. Never mind. They didn't kill the paladin. He was knocked out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was knocked unconscious because I remember this when I was a child. Remember details. But I should have remembered that he wasn't killed. Anyway, they knocked him out, killed the Lich. When she woke up, they asked what they should do with the paladin, and so basically, they dragged the Paladin of Ulus out of the thing, back to the city, told him what happened. Paladin was a sobbing wreck because, he had betrayed them and lost his oath and killed 2 men, all for his mother, and his mother wouldn't be blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so the City of Leaves, it's the High Council of the City of Leaves, right?
Yeah, the High Council.
Yeah, so it goes to the High Council of what to do with this paladin who had murdered 2 soldiers after his band had murdered another soldier, and one of them tried to attack my sister while drunk. So they decide, after everything that happened, to not give in to the paladins. What is it? What would you call the place that the paladins reside? Monastery or something?
Well, their order, yeah.
Yeah, they declined the paladin's orders request to have him back so they could judge him properly, and decided to make a public statement against paladins, and they hung him publicly in the center of the City of Leaves for crimes against the City of Leaves. And then everyone in the City of Leaves and further in to the Evergreens are very anti-paladin, and they call paladins oathbreakers, and yeah.
Well, okay. Well, that explains a lot as far as your attitude towards paladins. So, I mean, I'd posit it. It sounds like it wasn't clear how long they were on the hunt for that lich before your sister's band came upon them. So it's entirely possible that the lich's influence had been working on them for quite some time. And it wasn't so much that they were directly oathbreakers as they were just slowly getting corrupted, much as the vegetation in the area around a lich's, resting place are corrupted over time.
Yeah,
but I totally understand your that is a completely valid way to feel about paladins, and I totally get it. Just realize, this isn't that area.
Oh yeah, and then if you go to the towns,
and I mean, we've
on,
been traveling
edge,
together for a while now, and when have I done anything not paladin-y? Not oathbreak paladin-y, but not paladin-y.
Well, your viewpoints of the world are pretty off, but whatever.
Well, I mean, the same about yours, Mr. I want to raise a spider, but that's fine.
Hey, lots
Different
of people
strokes, I get it. It's fine.
Lots of people keep tarantulas as pets.
No, that's fair, and I can only give you my word, and that's all I've got, and I can understand you not believing that, but yeah.
Yeah, anyway, heading back to Grand Mike.
Yeah, and as this has been happening, as you finish up, still have a little bit of ways to go. Come across Grand Pike. You walk in. You are met with, the guard towers around Grand Pike, looking at you, having the crossbows and bows at the ready. Seeing that it's you, you basically give a wave and a hi, an acknowledgement as you walk towards Grand Pike. Come across Grand Pike, the familiar city that you recently left.
Mm-hmm.
You walk around for a little while, and you go back to the tavern where Azu was, and presumably tell him about what transpired.
Yeah, and I tell him that in the next 2 or 3 days there's going to be another group coming in, so he could stage an ambush if he wanted, or just be wary of it.
Yeah, we'll tell him about the bugbears coming in.
Gotcha.
We'll let him know. We'll also let Azu know about the 2 guys.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Nokeem and Ravel.
Nokeem and Ravel, and that Ravel's following. We'll tell him actually. well, I'll tell him everything anyway. Like as far as like Ravel's actually like kind of protecting the owlbear and making sure that it goes into the wilds unharmed, and that. And
Yep.
hey, you might want to get that ranger a little bit more training. And but no, I'll give him the whole 9 yards and let him know that
right.
we did help with the owlbear a little bit, because it seemed actually not terribly, at least threatening, at least not while we were there. In fact, I got very close to it and helped heal it and whatnot. So.
Okay, cool. As you're sort of telling all this to us,
and told him not to, and that I told Ravel to keep it away from Grand Pike, so you guys shouldn't have any problems with it.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Azu, throughout this entire thing, he's nodding, and you know that he's acknowledging this, but you can see in his face that he is completely he's barely trying to get over all the alcohol he drank. He's functioning, but it's really slow with him. He has a really bad hangover.
How do you say the? Okay, hold on. I have it right here. I'm gonna basically write down everything that Naf is saying, basically a very like summarized version, and then I'm gonna like fold it up and hand it to him. I go, oh yeah, thanks for telling me about Gollendor. Yeah, he was a nice guy.
He's like, Ozzy was like, what?
Oh.
I did what?
Oh, you told me that a god was gonna come talk to me.
I did no such thing.
When you were drunk, it was a problem.
Oh, that. I'm sorry.
And it happened. That. Also, you told us about the dragon that was gonna fly over the city, and he turns out to be a nice dragon. And he's a nice dragon. I'm gonna put my hands on his shoulder. He's a nice dragon, and we have a meeting with him.
Great. Okay.
Hey, you can come to the meeting.
Yeah, I was going to say, so since Sarkon already jotted everything down, I was going to say I would jot, I would give him a quick written summary as well to go over when he's not hungover.
Yeah, because right now he's still...
He has a terrible hangover.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he does. He's like, he takes the paper, he's just like, he gives you a thumbs up and he just rests his head in his hands for a second.
I'm going to point to the ale that I left him and go, remember, the rest of that's yours.
He doesn't say anything, he just groans, still trying to get over the...
Order him a coffee.
Yeah, you see that there are many cups of what you believe is some sort of brew that supposedly should help with hangovers, but he's gone through many cups already. It hasn't seemed to be helping.
I would pat his back, but I'm afraid that he'd vomit if I did, so...
Okay. With that, Azu doesn't feel like talking. He's just sort of just like,
that's fine.
All right, yeah.
We'll leave him to his misery.
I'm going to look to Naf, and I go, so we're going to Grey Rock?
That's probably the best bet. I mean, we've given them the information that they need. What do we need to do for this, for the woman? Where does she need to go?
She said she was coming with us.
You can ask her.
I was going to say, did you... So, I wasn't sure if she had split off once we got to Grand Pike. All right.
No, she's staying with you. So is the bugbear and the Minotaur. They're sort of staying outside, though. They're all outside, just standing there.
All right.
Don't worry, Onavox with them, talking about his art.
And that's fine. Yeah. And be like, and we need to make sure Onavox doesn't prematurely give anybody symbols.
Yeah.
Brooches. Can we confiscate the excess ones from him so that he doesn't have them?
Sure. Then he won't have any excess ones. He'll just have his one, and then the excess ones will be. Yeah, he'll only have his from now on.
We go out there and he's handing them out to children on the street.
Dumbass. No, but we'll split those between Sarquin and I, since we seem to be appropriately doling them out.
All right. When you have them there, you see there's about 8 left. So there's each of you would have 4, and those would be the extra 8.
Okay.
It's you don't know why they gave you so many, but they're just here.
Well, yeah, no, and he was like, "Yeah, you don't use them. That's fine, whatever." So
Yeah,
I
exactly.
remember they gave us a boatload.
Yeah.
So I have 5 King's Crests.
4. Well, 5 if you count the one you're wearing. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Like,
yeah,
I don't want this anymore. I'm just gonna give it away.
I'm just gonna destroy this one. Just have a new one. But yeah, everyone, I suppose, goes out and talks to the
Bag
rest
of
of the group.
extra quests. Oh, I didn't have a number in there. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think you gave us a number originally. You was just like,
Yeah,
here's
no.
a whole bunch
Yeah.
of extra ones.
Yeah. Now I gave you actual number. There's
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll put 4 in my list here.
gotcha.
Uh,
And then Onavok wouldn't have any. Like, okay, sure. Here, take the extra crests. I'm okay with this. He wouldn't give any.
Cap's been awfully quiet.
Yeah, Kep doesn't really have much to say right now. Yeah, he's sort of just taking it all in right now.
sure.
I'm gonna look at the Minotaur and I'm gonna nod at him and go, "Don't worry. Right now, after this, we're off to try and get you a job at Castle Greyrock." So
He gives this affirmative sort of snort / grunt that is just like a. Just sort of like, all right.
All right. So let's see.
So
she's not in. So what is her
wait,
name?
Barrack is there.
Barrick is there. He's just.
Isn't he the guard captain?
Yeah.
I look at Barrack and I go, "It's a Minotaur. You could totally put in a good word to get him
I
hired."
think we had this conversation already.
I know, but we need to have it again. Okay, we'll talk about it on the way.
Yeah, we can talk about it on the way. I'm keeping that in mind. Don't worry.
I think the conversation we had was would the king be willing to hire him, not if Barrack could put in a good word.
I could.
Since he's the guard captain.
I mean, the tower of muscle right there.
Yeah, think a Minotaur protecting the tower.
Yeah.
Or even the labyrinths underneath.
Yeah.
True. Or even the gate.
I mean,
see a Minotaur up in the gate.
You'd think twice, exactly.
You definitely think twice.
So
yeah.
All right. So
yeah,
if we have nothing further in Grand Park, we should get to the
castle.
king as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
Take her lashings. Now, with what was the woman's name? Because I didn't get that. Now, you guys may have gotten that. Okay.
You were there when she introduced herself. Eliza is her name.
Okay, I didn't actually, out of character, I didn't get it. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Cool. Eliza, all right. So, Eliza, you're sticking with us as well. I thought my understanding was you needed to go to Grand Pike, but you're welcome along with us. But
I have nowhere to go, so.
Okay. All right. Well then, we'll see what we can do for you in Grey Rock.
Okay.
Is she giggling, or is she just giving a little?
More like. It's more like, it's like, yeah, there's nothing you can do for me at Grey Rock. There's nothing they can give me, sort of thing. That's what you guess.
I go,
it's just like.
I go, hey, I'm popular with the gods in the worst way possible, but popular.
Good for you.
I'm actually
popular in other ways, so.
Well, I mean, Gurmoth wants to kill me, and I'm pretty sure there's nothing worse than a god wanting to kill you. So.
There are fates worse than death.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Gurmosh could extend one of those. I mean, he's a god.
As you're having this conversation, you're going about your way to the castle.
Yes.
It takes about a couple days to get there. You'll stop, make camp, eat, read books, all that stuff. Continue talking with one another.
Zab to speak common.
All right, roll a. Gotta roll something for that. Intelligence, I guess.
Bluff check.
Bluff check.
And just out of character, I've been trying to play Naf to. He still has that I'm superior edge to him, but he's trying to temper that, and I'm trying to, play that as that's him learning from whatever book that he's got.
Gotcha.
From the how to how to lead people and make influence.
And something
7 hablets of a highly effective
There you go.
paladin.
And
For that,
something he'll learn is when he tempers that, Sarquin is much more responsive in a very much kinder way.
Sure, yeah. Notice I haven't
Yeah.
been doing like the whole, well, you haven't been chosen quite as much. It still
quite,
slips
yeah,
out.
quite
Yeah.
as much. For the NAF, I want you to make a let's do a either whichever one's higher. Do a do any no not what would it be? Either a knowledge check or
Okay.
a charisma check. Either one.
I get a +1 for knowledge because that's based off intelligence, whereas charisma
Yeah,
I get nothing.
It's a nothing. So you can do an intelligence. Basically, see if you can pick up anything extra from the book and see if that would help you. Basically, get a bit more charismatic since you've been reading it quite a while.
All right.
Been reading it quite a while in game, so.
All right.
Me
so
and Zab have hit a wall.
Yeah, right now
Can't
Zab
get-
is not getting much from the lessons. You can see that it's getting there for Zab, but right now if you
We're stuck on numbers
you-
now.
I'm still struggling with.
yeah, you're struggling.
You have to
feel,
meet people at their level.
Yeah, you you feel like you're right at that cusp of getting over that hill, but you're like right there.
Right there.
Yeah, it's man, yeah. You feel like you're making progress now, but not today.
It's slow.
It's slow,
Yeah, that's fine.
slow but steady.
Oh, that's fair.
After that, you make camp. A couple of days travel goes by as you are greeted with the site of the castle again, the main city of Castle Greyrock. You walk in with your very large, weird party in tow.
Yeah. Onavok, I hope you're ready for this.
Onavok's just like, nope.
Exactly what Onarok would say.
Hey, I know him.
Can we take a short bathroom break before
Yeah.
we get into the next bit?
Yeah,
here?
that sounds
I've been drinking water, so I'm like, oh dear.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Give me just 3 minutes here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be right
There.
back.
I'm gonna go. Okay, back.
Cool.
Did I get back before NAF?
You did.
Awesome. So how bad's this tongue lashing gonna be?
You're gonna find out. Depends on a couple of things which are gonna happen pretty soon. And also it depends on, talking skills and the like.
I'm not confident in my rolls today.
Cut yourself on a piece of wood. Couldn't open a lock by bashing it.
Yeah.
Just got out of your system early, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's like, that's not how chance works. It's like, that's why I never got. It's like, when you roll, it's just like, oh, get out of your system. Like, no. Do you know probability? It's a chance to have that same thing happen again the next time you do it.
It's a thing that D&D players have. It's like
I know, it's this superstition, and I
yeah, it's
understand
superstition,
it, but it's
that
just like, you have the same chance of getting ones the entire night as the same as getting every single number 1 through 20 in a row. Or
yeah, but people want to blame the dice. I mean, it's not your fault. It's the
like,
dice.
it's the dice.
You can't control probability, but you can control what the dice you use.
Unless it's online.
I can change the color of my dice.
Oh, okay, that's true. It's like you're rolling it, right?
By the way, if I sound like my mouth is full, it's because I'm eating.
Gotcha.
So just imagine Sarquin's like going through his rations like he forgot to eat last night. And it's like, oh yeah, no, totally.
I forgot, guys. I'm sorry. Nom, 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 nom. Oh, goodness.
Good news is, though, what I'm eating is a shit ton of lasagna.
Ooh. Oh, that sounds so good.
Yeah, I love lasagna. It's like my shit. Jeez, Nath, what happened to 3 minutes?
I don't think it has been 3 minutes yet.
You don't think it has?
I don't think so.
Oh, damn.
Unless I haven't been paying attention to the clock.
Well, I haven't. It just feels like it because I did a lot in a short amount of time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've just been looking at stuff on my phone for like my notes and stuff, so I haven't really been paying attention.
Well, your phone was about to die.
It's like at 11%.
That's not good.
I'm back.
Hello, hello.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Oh, right.
I'm tempted to say that we stop before we have Onavok. We make Onavok actually roleplay his interaction with the king, though. Because I kind of want to see how that would go with him actually doing that part.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
mean, I do too, but I just don't want to keep going. But if you guys want to totally
No,
do that,
I think we can do all the stuff up to that point, like with the Minotaur and the girl and stuff.
Yeah, you have a bunch of stuff
Okay,
you can
yeah.
be doing.
Yeah, we have other stuff to do. I'm just saying that part we should
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
at least wait until hopefully he'll be available for
Yeah.
next week and be
Yeah.
able to do it.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, you have some stuff to do. There's Eliza you can talk to, the Minotaur stuff. There's also something I I forgot to do, but I am going to do it now.
Okay, cool.
And then and after that, actually a couple things I forgot to do. So have a couple of things that are going to happen and some other stuff. So.
But yeah, I was thinking about that while I was upstairs. I was like, that would be really interesting to
It's going to be hilarious.
make Onavok actually explain himself.
Just like, well, you see. I can just imagine, like, well, he was a
It's not
jerk.
because we wanted him to lose his job or anything.
No, I just want to see him do it. I want to see him squirm.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna hold off on that. It's probably gonna where we're gonna end around there. So
Cool.
whenever that happens, that's whenever you two are fine with stopping, then we'll stop. But yeah, so you're going up towards Castle Grey Rock. You're a couple
I'm gonna
hundred.
ask Barrick how much a castle guard gets paid a month.
Um. Let's see. Uh. I don't know. I'll just take the money.
I go, well, is it more than 4 gold?
Yeah.
Okay. Then our Minotaur friend will be happy with it.
Yeah. If I can convince the king. Yeah.
Barrick, you? No, you can totally convince the king. I believe in you.
He likes me, so.
Yeah.
Obviously, he sent you with us.
Yeah. He trusts me. Yeah, he doesn't know about all you, but he definitely trusts me.
Well, I think he might like me a bit because I did turn the guest room into a elven wonder. Remember, carved the bed?
That was good.
Yeah.
I did give you
Thank
some
you.
points. I did know that. I also know that he likes the paladin here a little bit, cause, well, AMA and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, we're tight.
Yeah. Alright. And this is sort of like a couple hundred feet, like, from the castle, and from the traveling and the sleeping. Way back, long time ago, Barrick mentioned that he had like a big scar on his chest, and everyone was able to actually see that scar because he, during his changing, him just like, so you want to see the scar now? You basically got the view of the scar, and it's very old, and doesn't seem like it's going to be opening up or anything like that. It's just like it's very, very deep. It's really lucky it didn't hit any vitals, and as I said before, it goes from the top of his, I believe I said his left shoulder, or top of that to like below his sternum in like a diagonal slash. So it's pretty big. So yeah, everyone saw that, and he's basically, Barrick was basically like, yeah, this is what I got. So you want to see it? There it is.
What does it look like caused it? Like a greatsword or something?
Make a oof. I want you to make a knowledge arcana check.
Ooh, Arcana.
That's not arcana.
Ooh, Arcana.
Oh goodness. Oh, there you go.
19.
Right.
Is everyone there?
Um.
Oh, okay. You guys stopped talking, and I
Oh,
thought
I was
that
waiting
you
to
guys.
see if Naf was gonna.
Oh, I don't have Arcana.
Oh, okay. If you can just.
It's a trained one.
Okay, then you can just do a regular knowledge check then. If you don't have specifically arcana. That's fine. Okay, so both of you realize that it's like, okay, this definitely came from some sort of bladed weapon, most likely a great sword or a great axe, something like that, just based on the size and the, basically the impact that it left on him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you realize that it might have been some sort of, maybe a magical weapon hit him,
If not masterwork of some kind,
yeah,
sure.
something like that. Sark, when you realize that, though it might be the same, like maybe masterwork, maybe magical, you realize that there's some sort of magic pulsing throughout the scar very lightly.
He's got residue.
I'm gonna ask him why he's never gotten that checked out.
He's like, oh, it wouldn't help. I already answered that. The clerics already tried. It didn't help.
Is it a curse?
Nah.
Nah. Oh well.
You're just gonna drop it then? Alright. And with that, he just sort of...
Maybe you should go see...
I mean, do you want to tell us the story of it?
Maybe you should go see the Weaver.
No thanks. He said the story. I mean, there's not too much to it, I guess. You know, back in when was it? It was like some sort of battle of a small skirmish somewhere. Someone hit me with a pretty big axe or sword. I mean, whatever. It was someone I cut down pretty easily afterwards. But I mean, the way they hit me, the weapon, I think it maybe was magical, I guess. But
yeah,
the way it hit me and what it was, I think it resonated with me somehow, or me being me, it never healed up completely. I don't know, maybe it's just because of my lineage, but I have no clue.
What's your lineage?
My whoops. Yeah, that's right. My lineage, well, get this, alright? I'm about to blow your minds, alright?
he is Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.
Oh my gosh. I was not expecting that. He hit Barrick, then goes, well, my lineage comes from the code. Like, literally, coldness. Like, the element of cold. It's like in me.
Insert Bane quote here.
Oh my gosh. I wasn't born in the darkness. I was molded by it. Yeah, I think they call it a bloodline or something like that. Some great whatever it is was once had powers or so. I don't know.
Oh, so like your great grandfather was a god who had sex with a human and made a demigod, and then you're just the product of that.
His face is completely dumbfounded at what you're talking about right now.
What, you don't have stories about that happening?
No.
Is it only the Evergreens? Oh, guess it's only the Evergreens.
Apparently.
Yeah.
He's like, no, like literally some sort of elemental or something, like blessed my family line or whatever, I guess. I don't know.
It's a lot less amazing than a god coming down and having sex with your family.
Sure. Yeah. With that, he sort of backs away and then sort of gets his stuff, and you continue on to Grey Rock.
By the way, that's totally not a thing from the City of Leaves. He just said it because he thought it was funny.
Of course. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that was the scar. And
good to know.
Yeah, so you head on to Grey Rock, and you're met with very peculiar glances from almost everybody.
I'm gonna wave at one of the guards and say, "Did Tom get a job here?"
One of the guards, as you wave down, just like, Tom.
Yeah,
Who's
Tom. I have that name, don't I?
You do have his name.
Crap, I think it's in my phone. I'll check my campaign notes.
If you don't know it off the top of your head, I can tell it to you again. It's no biggie.
Well, I have it in my notes, and I want to say it because I know I have it in my notes. Okay. His name is... Oh, I just gotta wait for everything to load up. Crap. Okay, City of Leaves. Bring it down. It's Thomas Brexon.
Oh, yeah, he works here.
Awesome. Tell him Sarquin says hi, and I hope the family's okay.
Well, he doesn't work with me. More he's more near the castle. So,
Yeah. Where does he work?
like, he's a
Just wanna-
guardman at the castle.
Oh.
He got transferred in.
Okay. Awesome. So when we see Tom, tell me.
Okay, I will. Gotcha. He's like,
I just want to know, like, what conversation happened. Like, oh yes, Sarquin told us about how amazing you were and how you knew each other. And he's just like, who the hell is this guy making my life better?
my gosh. Oh, man. But
Hey,
yeah,
you find a guy to pick on, then you make his life better.
I don't think that's how it works, but... but yeah, the guardian's just like, alright, have a nice day. And then you walk on. So
I
what...
should be the weaver.
What? Oh, you should be the...
Yeah.
Alright, so what do you want to do now?
I want to go find Tom if Nap's okay with that.
I mean, we're heading to the castle anyway, so.
Awesome.
Okay. So the group...
I'm assuming that's our first stop. I mean, I don't think we need
Yeah.
to do anything else in the town of the Castle Grey Rock, so.
Not in the town. I mean, you can still talk to your party members and stuff like that if you wish.
Sure, but I mean, we just kind of need to head up to the castle anyhow, because
Gotcha.
we need to see what these people are gonna, what we can do for these weirdos we've got traveling with us.
Yeah. So as you make your way up towards the castle, you see a couple of the regular guards are up on the top with the crossbows and all that stuff. You see near the front where you originally walked in, the gates there. You see two guards standing there. Sarquin, you recognize one on the right to be Tom.
Yo, Tom!
And he's currently talking to the other guard, and as you say, hey, Tom, you see the guard on the right's form shoot up, like, very stiff, and you see the head turn ever so slowly. And then he looks towards you and back to the guard, and you see him put his hand up and sort of, like, whisper something to the guard. The other guard starts busting up laughing. And then Tom just like just puts his hand on his head and stands at attention, looking towards the group, just like this is like hoping you're not coming up to talk to him.
I step up to Tom and I go, "Hey, how you liking your position, man?"
Good. Hi.
I go,
What can
why
do
are you
today?
What?
Man. What can I do for you today? Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
I just wanted to ask, how everything was going, and if everything was going okay with your family, if they were happy about your promotion. I mean, you got promoted, man. I mean, I did some of it, but the rest was you. You're a hard worker. I knew you
that was mainly you that did that.
Don't sell yourself short.
He leans in closer.
I turn to Naf and I go, this guy, he's humble.
He puts his hand on your shoulder and brings you closer to him. He's like, okay, why did you do this to me? He's like, just why?
I'm gonna smirk and go, I just like fucking with people.
Gosh.
I go, but hey, it worked out for the best for you, and I pat his shoulder.
Yeah, it did. Thanks. And I actually mean that.
You're totally welcome. Yeah, Silverwell is a bit...
Hey.
And
It's got its problems, but it's still a great town.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, a gold for a cup of muddy water, totally.
It's outrageous, but I just couldn't stand. I couldn't stand Richard. Yeah.
Yeah. I go and pat his shoulder and I go, I'm really glad you actually got promoted. I'm really glad, man. I'll
Yeah.
see you around if I ever come back here.
All
Maybe
right.
we should get
Yeah.
a drink sometime.
Yeah. I'm just glad that I don't have to worry about him breathing down my neck anymore. It's just, yeah. Oof. Just the
Okay,
weight's
so
off my shoulder.
yeah. After that, and after he's like kind of calmed down and cool with me, I kind of wave goodbye and head in with the party, I'm guessing. And then as we're walking, I go look to Nap and I go, Tom, me and him, we're tight.
Clearly.
As you say that, he's like, "No, we're not."
I go, you just don't want to admit it yet.
No. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what? Hey, wait. Come back here a sec.
I go back.
Okay. Does anyone else go back with Sarquin after you go back?
I mean, I'll turn around and pay attention, but
Okay. Yeah. The distance. You haven't gotten too far. He says to you. He says to basically everyone who's listening. He's like, "All right. Yeah. Thanks again for getting me out so well. I just want to let you know that gosh, how do I say this?
Are you proposing?
No. He's sort of like he looks at you like, are you an idiot? No. And he's basically saying just like, look, all right. I'm grateful I'm out of Silverwell and all that corruption and stuff, and I'm glad I don't have to be there anymore. So, to express my thanks, I'll be here if you want to ask about anything about Richard or about Silverwell. That, you know.
when he says Richard, is he talking about Rosso?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. Okay, just making sure.
He's basically, and he then says, I know some stuff that he's been in before, so I'm away from his ears now. So
I'm gonna think. I'm gonna go. I'll take you up on that offer. We might have questions later, so we'll come back to talk to you.
right, okay.
And then I'm gonna look at him and I go, is Arian really his son? I'm gonna like kind of whisper in his ear so Arian doesn't really hear.
Okay. Tom thinks for a second. He's like, not that I know of.
I nod and I go, okay, one more thing. Why is he like? I know he was like a great warrior and everything, but what turned him into such a corrupted dick?
I mean, Richard.
Yes.
I'm not too sure about that either. He was already in power when I came into the guard position there. I only know about what he's been doing and the main thing is Silverwell that happened, but
is there anything between him and the mayor that if we brought to the king,
there's a lot between him and the mayor, let me tell you that.
Is there anything that happened between him and the mayor that if we brought to the king would incriminate like both of them to show?
No. Richard has his tracks pretty much covered.
But does the mayor?
Anything revolving around Richard and the mayor, Richard takes care of everything.
Okay, so the mayor specifically, does he have other things that don't involve Richard that would?
Possibly. I mean, I don't know too much about the mayor. He stays in his house most of the time. I mean, I just know about Richard and the mayor, their dealings, and the stuff that it's supposed to be, looked down upon, but it's not because it's in the law and all that stuff.
What stuff is supposed to be looked down upon that they do?
Oh, when the elections come up, people can sponsor the people that are running. As I support this person. In fact, it's mainly just bribing and using that person as a puppet. Basically, everyone knows it. Nothing in the law says that you can't do it, and as long as you say that the money is for the betterment of Silverwell and for the candidate and to pursue his vision or whatever garbage.
How much dealings do they? Okay, I know you might not know this because you might not know like the things, but like all the politics and stuff. But how much dealings would you say Silverwell does with the Evergreens?
From what I know, some. Not a whole lot, I don't think. Not too many elves or half-elves around in Silverwell too much. A lot of us are dwarves and humans that generally, halfling every once in a while, but
Cool.
not too much in the Evergreens. I think Richard was trying to expand business over there somewhere, but I don't know.
He totally ain't gonna be able to do that. Anyway,
Never know,
so
Richard.
I'm gonna pat his shoulder and I'm gonna go, thanks. I hope it doesn't bother you, but I'm gonna keep singing your praises.
Oh my gosh, please don't.
And then
Please,
I'm walking
I'm
away.
fine with my life, okay?
I walk away and I'm like waving to him as I go, but like not turning to face him and go, I totally am. I don't want to get more amazing job opportunities than I already have.
The other guard throughout this entire thing, he is just laughing his head off right now. He's just standing there laughing so hard he can't even. He's like wiping the tears from his eyes, and Tom's just like,
I
"Shut
point
up,
as
man."
I'm walking. I point as I'm walking. I go, I like that guy.
Nice.
And this is what happens when you just shout out a random name in the middle of the street.
Oh man. All right, with that.
Anyway, I head back and go,
Okay.
yeah, I don't like Silverwell, and keep walking.
Fair enough.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
All right,
So
and
we be off.
unless you want to go try to talk with the guards in the barracks to see if they would like a minotaur.
Oh yeah, no, let's totally do that.
Yeah, if we can build consensus before we take it to the king, that's actually probably not a bad idea. Unless he gets all you whatever my helmet on us.
Okay. So you head over to the barracks. Pretty easy to find because Barrack is there to guide you. Going to the barracks with Barrack. Talk to some of the guards there. They're a bit on the fence right now. If you want them,
I'm gonna explain it like this. Okay, so think about it, you guys. Would you rather have, say, another one of you guys just standing there, like to help you if you guys came under full siege? Would you rather have another nobody guy to come in that you don't even know who uses the same weapons and probably has the same armor as this Minotaur? Or would you want a Minotaur to have your back during a siege that probably won't happen, but if it did, would you rather have a Minotaur or some nobody that just came in off the street?
do a diplomacy.
A diplomacy.
Diplomacy. A diplomacy, my good sir. Yes, please.
9.
9.
They're still on the fence about it.
They're on the fence. They're like, maybe, well, Minotaur would be nice, but, Minotaur, of all things, I'm not too sure about that. Barrack chimes